How's it going? I'm Tobin, back out at Doris Ranch in what I call the East Orchard, one of the newly planted orchards in the last decade or so. Bad problem with blight. Maybe talk about that a little bit more here in a moment, but this is one of the younger orchards here at Doris Ranch. I'm here with Luna and Athena, our two German Shepherds, and my wife and daughter. We've had a spectacular day, but first let's talk about why I'm talking to you today. Et Tu is back from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. It is a clone that they made themselves in-house to Fabergé's classic Brut. Hello, Luna. Luna has come for a stick. I got a bag full of sticks I'm ready for her now. Luna's the dark brown one. She's 4, and Athena is the smaller black one. She just turned 1 a few weeks ago. Both are great girls. So I have the cologne, and you'll see I have like the 2016 set. In 2019, they came out with this new label. I bought the splash and soap at the time. I love this fragrance so much that, yes, I bought 2 sets. And part of that is also because I'm a schnerd, a shave nerd, and a fanboy. I love what Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements does. I'm a huge fan of the products that they make and the things that they do, and also just the way that they handle their business and handle themselves. Douglas Smythe and Francis Toll are the artisans, and they made Et Tu from scratch. They make all their fragrances in their laboratory. Et Tu, in case you're not familiar with the term, is from a play by William Shakespeare about Julius Caesar in ancient Rome, and his brother and the Senate that betrayed him. And when he learns that his brother Brutus is in on the betrayal, he says, Et Tu, Brutus. Now you can translate that a few different ways, but to translate it into modern English, which thou speaketh, would be you too, Brutus. As you can see there, you also, Brutus. There's a lot of different ways that you could translate it, but I think the best way to translate it from the Latin to the English using modern vocabulary would just simply be you too, Brutus. So Et Tu is you too. No, not Bono, not that guy. I have here the ice tube. That is the pre-shave from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements in a travel size jar. And to be totally honest, I think I lost my black one. I haven't been able to find it since my review of Firefighter. It's either up the McKenzie River somewhere, under a seat in my truck, or I don't know. Yes, dear, 1 second. You got something? No, I almost thought she has something by her eye. So anyways, got you set up on the tripod. Just throw her a stick. We've been playing for hours. We've had a great day. Talk about that in a moment. Been out and about down at the University of Oregon, having a good time. My wife and daughter, did I say? Alexis and Emily are right over here. Ready for another one? So while this is a clone, a tribute, an homage to Brut, it's more closely tied upon the one from the 1960s right up here, which I do not have. I have the modern cologne, but they're still extremely similar. So if you have experienced the splash that's on the market today, or the cologne, which I have, I don't have the splash. This is the cologne. Had it for a few years, and they fill it to the top. So if you ever buy one, it's literally filled to the brim. They smell very similar. I have Brut on the back of my right hand and Et Tu on the back of my left hand. Now, the last couple of days, this came back yesterday, Saturday. Today is now Sunday, March 9th, I think. What my wife and I have come to is Et Tu, when you first smell it, is greener and more citrusy. And when you first smell Brut, talking about initial application, the top notes, the main difference being is that Brut is spicier. Other than that, they smell very similar, except for one major thing. everything about Et Tu screams premium. To where, you know, if you're talking like television, Brute would be a standard definition, while this would be like a 4K, you know, high def, just in living color. Everything about it, just when you smell it, it smells more premium. See how long she stays there. I have my new brush from Chisel and Hound. That is the son of Bobby Moffett. Might know him as That Darn Rob. That was the name of his brush company before. But this is my newest one from him. And it has a V26 Fanturian knot in it. And I'm using my bowl that his father made, Bobby Moffett, at Sawdust Creation Studios, which you might have seen in my last outdoor video, which was here from Doris Ranch, but over at the Living History Village. And in that, I've reviewed my collaboration with Frank and Bobby, Lewis and Clark. So this is my bowl from Lewis and Clark. This is from Bobby's son, Rob Moffett, at Chisel and Hound. Both amazing artisans. All right. Got the pre-shave, brush is wet, bowl is ready. Let's lather and talk about this fragrance. I love them. I'm a dog person, in case you're new to my content. I think dogs are better than people, better than most people. I think we got a lot to learn from dogs regarding loyalty and forgiveness. And, you know, I think a dog's only fault is that they don't live long enough. Their lives are too short. Other than that, a dog has no faults. I have more faults than I have non-faults, perfections. English is not one of my perfections. My spray bottle from Walmart, $1.88. Actually, my wife picked me up a few of those that would be given away, including some stickers. Not today. Need to figure out exactly how I want to do it. This fragrance, the scent notes right up there on the screen. Alexis and Emily give this a 7. Alexis has like a 7.5, 8 in the dry down. If I had to define it in just a few words, it would be invigorating, classic, refined, green, classic, masculine. It takes me back to my childhood. My dad used Brute and Stetson. And if you are my age, you undoubtedly know somebody who wore Brute or used Brute as an aftershave. I like to wear it as a cologne. It doesn't last too long. The one from Fabergé. The Et Tu from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements in the splash. I do not have the EDP. I do not have the solid. If you want longevity from this fragrance, I do recommend picking up the solid cologne or the EDP. I can get about a good 4 hours of projection from Et Tu. 6 hours close to the skin, but really it only lasts about 4 hours. So you're gonna need to have a travel atomizer or a way of reapplying it if you want it to last all day. That's me and my experience. You might get more out of it, you might not, but about a good 4 hours of wear, 6 hours close to the skin, but you can get a good 4 hours of projection out of it. Starts off captivating. A burst of this herbaceous lavender and anise. Now, if you know me, you know that me and black licorice, we have a dark history, pun intended. When I was 11 years old, we went out to Winchester Bay off the coast of the Pacific in Oregon. And I hadn't had any breakfast other than black licorice and Coca-Cola. We drove from Springfield, Oregon, near Eugene, where I live. We're in Springfield. All the way down to Winchester Bay. I think it's like a 2.5, 3 hour drive, 2 hour drive, something like that. Someone said I need to get a fanny pack for sticks. That's not a bad idea. And so we got down there. We caught our limit. Back then the limit was 3 salmon. Chinook is what we were after. Chinook's what I got. And I caught my limit. But I also provided some chum. We'll say it that way. And ever since that day, I have not eaten black licorice. And if the smell of anise is too strong, I can't do it. It's not like I don't have any reaction to it. It's just that scent memory, which I want to talk a little bit more about too, and the science behind it, because fragrance is magic. And if the anise is too prominent, I can't do it. The anise in this is done perfectly. I do detect it, but everything in this, you can pick out the different notes, but they're so well done. This is a fragrance that you can tell that Douglas and Francis put a lot of work and effort into getting right and having like everything premium, and just that they put a lot of love and TLC into crafting this one. Because the anise, I detect it, but I like it. And that's saying a lot for me. And I think in part that's because this is uplifted using the camera, the screen on my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. No mirror, got you on the tripod. Athena's wandering over there, my wife's calling her. You can stay with Dad. It's uplifted by this zesty, bright lemon and bergamot, and you just like get this hint of basil, and it's adding this subtle green spice. I think that might be one of the things that they have done wrong with Fabergé's Brut, because you get this, it's not a bad spice in Brut Fabergé. I like that, which is why that's actually a lot, considering, you know, my collection. I don't know how well you guys can see it because the way the light is. It's right about there. When, you know, like I said, this was plumb full. And yeah, I've had this like 5 years, and it's only down to there. It's going to last me a lifetime. Worth every penny. I think I paid like $6 for it at a local drugstore. But everything about the Brut Fabergé, you can just tell it's a cheaper drugstore quality product, as to where everything in this is what you would expect if you're familiar with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, and that is everything is just premium. They've taken the classic fragrance and served it up on a premium platter, for lack of a better word. I was distracted by my dog coming up there. Leading us into the heart of this fragrance is light florals. I'm not big on florals, and these are light, and it's really only in the heart as this fragrance transitions from the top into the middle that I really detect any real floral presence. You get the geranium light, a creamy, rich lang lang. The lang lang in this is awesome. A very soft jasmine. There's a floral center to this fragrance. It's light and it's fleeting. It does not last long. Right, Luna? The base notes. You get this classic warm foundation. Creamy smooth sandalwood, and earthy green vetiver and patchouli. I'm getting kind of both of them at the same time, I think. I've really tried dissecting this. I wanted to review this for you guys last year, and I think even the year before that, and I didn't get to. Oh no, it was the last March, because this is a March seasonal. But we also were treated to it this last Christmas. I almost bought it then because of the label. He had, if I can find a photo of it, an image of Caesar wearing a Santa hat, and it was just epic, and I almost bought it. I was like, no, I don't need a third one. Almost did. Almost did. It hadn't been at Christmas time, my money, you know, at Christmas, you're putting your money in all these different baskets. If it hadn't been for that, I probably would have done it. The Schick Krona, and I have loaded in that a first use Gillette Silver Blue, one of the old ones that's in the double wrapper. And dip it in my bowl down here. Got my stool right in front of me, just below you. First use Gillette Silver Blue in my, I think this is, you see they have, one of the ways to tell these Coronas apart is, an easy way of telling them is by like looking at the bottom. There's a couple different bottoms out there, and mine is just the plain black bottom that says Schick. A few other ways too, but that's an easy way to date them, because they don't have date codes. At the same time, that vetiver and patchouli is blended with this mossy green depth of oak moss. The dry down is really where the green comes out, and where this is absolutely perfect for March and all the festivities of March. St. Patrick's Day, St. Ides, whatever you call it, right? The vanilla is this sweet, resinous vanilla. It's not your typical vanilla by any means. And knowing that this fragrance, was crafted, I've done a little bit of a history about this before because when I did Black Shroud, it was crafted earlier than the 60s. It got big in the 60s, if I remember right. But back then, vanilla in fragrances wasn't like the vanilla that we experience today. So this is definitely more of a woody, resinous vanilla. It's not that sweet cake, dessert, gourmand type of vanilla. It's a resinous vanilla. You detect it. And I can detect it in the Fabergé and in the Et Tu. I've had both on for probably half an hour now, 45 minutes. It finishes off with more of the little bit of a sweetness to it from this cozy, nutty tonka bean. I absolutely love this fragrance. I would give it a 10 all day long. Part of it is because of the memories that this thing evokes. Like, there was a period in my childhood, somewhere around 3rd grade to like, I don't know, somewhere in middle school, that it seemed like everybody was either wearing this or Stetson in my family. Like, my dad did a little bit of the Aqua Velva. But my uncle, my brother, my older brother, he's 8 years older than me, which is where I got my love for heavy metal, is from him. Look at that lather. CK6 is just amazing every time I use it. So today is Sunday, and with my job, I deliver dairy for Umpqua. My route is the University of Oregon, and there's only a couple private businesses, if you will, outside of the university that I go to, and they're located on campus. One of them is Tailored. It's a coffee shop, the kind of place where you can sit down though and like have breakfast. It's not just a coffee shop, but they roast their own beans. My wife is a huge coffee snob, and it wasn't cheap. Last week, I go there every Tuesday. Last week, when I go in there, they like to give me coffee. A lot of these coffee shops, one of the nice things about it is they offer you coffee, on the house. So I had tried their coffee, but I finally last week bought her a bag. It was like $21, but so good. She was instantly hooked. We went through it in just a few days, like 5 or 7 days. No, I got it on Tuesday. Today's Sunday, and it's already gone. So like 5 days. And it's not like a big, probably, I don't know, they sell them at 14 ounces, 16 ounces, 12 ounces. I don't know. It wasn't like ginormous, but we went through it. If I remember, I'll put a picture of that on the screen. So we went down there, had some muffins, bought another bag of coffee, had some coffee, and then went to Insomnia Cookie. If you're familiar with that, it's kind of like crumbled cookie. That's on my route as well. I deliver ice cream to them, and then they get pints of milk and cookies. After there, we went to this place called Dave's Hot Chicken. Oh my God. The best damn chicken. I'm so glad. It was Emily's idea to stop there. It's like, okay, where are we stopping on the way to Doris? And it's on campus. It's not on my route. It's on campus. We went in there. Normally, I'm not a fan of crinkle fries. Crinkle fries are off the chart. Off the chart. The seasoning, they're crispy. Normally, I don't like crinkle fries because they're not crispy. And I don't know, they're just like not very flavorful because like aren't they generally like baked? But these are just good. We had the non-spiced chicken tenders, the mild and the medium. The medium was more like a mild. Next time we go back, I'll definitely be going for the hot and then the very hot or whatever they call it. I think we're actually supposed to be getting one here in Springfield. Then from there, we went to one of my favorite places called Bright Oak Meats, and like the name implies, they do meat. But one of the things that I love about going there is not just their amazing cuts of beef, but jerky, from elk jerky to beef. They have this honey jerky that is just so damn good. This jalapeno jerky that is so damn good. And so we got like almost a pound of that. Came out here, walked around for a while, had to work off that fried chicken. Enjoying this beautiful day. It's like 60 degrees. Real quick, before I forget, the links in the description to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements are affiliate links. What that means is that I will earn a 10% commission if you use those links. Every dollar that I earn goes right back into wet shaving gear, whether it's an expensive brush like this one right here that I think is absolutely worth it. If you don't know how much I paid, you probably don't want to know how much I paid. I paid a lot, but it's worth it. I love it. This is just one of the most beautiful brushes I have ever owned. I love it. I actually bought a t-shirt separately. It came yesterday. I wanted to wear it out here, but it's one of the Raglan's, the 3/4 like baseball shirts, but I was afraid it's going to be too warm, so busted out the Spider-Man short sleeve. I'll wear that in an upcoming video though. I freaking love it. And the Moffats, Bobby at Sawdust Creation Studios and Rob, I've known both of them for years, are damn good people. Highly recommend checking out either one of them if you're looking for an artisan shave brush. Unfortunately, Rob only has the Venturian knots, but, well, no, I take that back. That's not entirely true. He does have a synthetic now, and he has a bore. But other than that, if I'm thinking correctly, that is all he has. Splash. But you can also buy just a handle and then put your own knot in it, which is super simple. If you've never done that, I can probably walk you through it. Just reach out to me. I did buy everything in the video today, so just wanted to get the full disclosure stuff out of the way. This is one of the old bottles with the big lip. I gotta be careful with it. Don't want to waste the precious juice, because it's not like I don't have another bottle. I do. The old bottle. I almost brought it with me, but then I thought, no, because this is what you'll get if you buy it today, or if you bought it yesterday, or if you buy it while it's in stock this year. Oh, so good. My wife and daughter do not like very many old school fragrances because they're generally musky. This isn't musky. Spicy a little bit, but mostly green, invigorating, fresh, a little sporty. I think sporty would be a fair application, but just refined and classic and amazing. My wife has the dogs. They're both holding onto a big stick. And can you see them yet? Oh, I can't see the screen. Are they? They're in there, right? They got to be. Who's walking who? Star jelly. If you've never done this experiment, I highly recommend doing it. I've done this a few times, and I don't tell my wife which one's which. I've done to where I do splash on the left side, star jelly on the right side, have her feel which one's softer, and then I'll also do an experiment to where I do splash only on one side, and then on the other side I'll do splash and then star jelly on top of that. My skin feels the best when I do splash and then star jelly when it comes to the moisture feel of the skin, how soft and supple and healthy the skin feels, but also just the way the skin looks after the shave. I really think that the ingredients in the splash and the star jelly complement each other when it comes to skin foods. Almost all of the star jellies are now offered in a menthol option or a menthol free option, and for me it just depends on the fragrance, which one I want. With a fragrance like this, I chose not to go with menthol just because menthol isn't associated with the regular thing. I'm funny with menthol. For me, menthol has a time and a place, and for me personally, menthol didn't have a place in Et Tu. I want to thank you for being out here with me. It's the little big things, like whether or not you get menthol in your star jelly. If you haven't tried star jelly, I do recommend picking up a bottle. They do have the unscented star jelly. Start there. That's a good starting place. Or if you got a favorite fragrance from them, This will only be around through the end of March, so about my birthday. This will be going away at the beginning of April. You guys take care. If you're still here, thank you for sticking around. Almost looked like my wife was throwing something at me. It fell short. You guys take care, and I'll see you next time. Welcome to the B-roll. Athena, be good. Luna has her mouth on a pine cone. Looks like a Doug fir from here, probably is. I got the stick. Trusted the shave went well. They went the wrong direction. They expected me to throw it down that way. Been throwing it lots of directions. So 360 of my surroundings. The orchard way down there. Let's zoom in. Gone. This one they tore down a few years ago. Probably 5 or more now, 10 maybe. How fast does a hazelnut tree grow? My tripod. My girls are set up down there. As you can see, Luna is feeling it. Walk out here real quick. So, trying to remember all the shaves I've done from like what was this orchard. Lots. I'll put some on the screen there, but you can see they've already replanted, and it's all because of the blight, that it just became too hard to manage, and so they took them out. It's a little big things, my friends, like appreciating a filbert orchard, because you never know when you're going to come back and it's gone. You guys take care. They found some free water. Is it good? I bet it is. You guys take care. We'll see you next time.